Hello and welcome to part two. So in this part we're going to be dealing with the pedals from Lovelux Flower of Service. So the first pedal is information. Now the information is to obtain full value from any good or service. Customers need relevant information. And the types of information range from train and airline schedules, because how you're going to use the train if you don't know when it's going to roll up. It's an important part of the service, right? And also airlines. You want to know when your flight is ready to leave. You want to know what gate it's leaving at, all that sort of stuff, right? So that forms a key part of what the actual service is, the service product. To assistance in locating specific retail outlets. And people often forget that because when you work in a service firm, the information is obvious to us because we know it and the people that we work with know it. But often we forget that our customers don't know everything that we do. So if they're looking, for example, the location of your retail outlet, you obviously know where it is because you go up there every day and work there or whatnot. But how do your customers find you? What do they Google you? Have you got signs? All that sort of stuff. And part of the service audit is exactly doing that, trying to take it from the customer's perspective and use these theories to go, we work at the firm, but then how does the customer see it? So also information on the services of professional firms. Another one of those is, which I think is really important, is information about pricing. How often do you see things for sale and you don't have a price on that? Does anyone ever go up there and go, I would like to buy this item, which I have absolutely no idea how much it costs? I mean, it's really, really rare. Either you'd have some information with a price range or an expectation, or you just don't buy it, right? So information is really important. Also includes like directions. I've used the example of Subway before. When you go in there, so many Subway stores, they expect you to know which side to queue up from, and they might not have a sign there. So immediately there's a breakdown in the service product because customers need to know. They need information about what they do next as part of the their role in script theory. Right, so we've got direction to service site, schedule service hours, such as the train and airline stuff, prices, which I just talked about, reminders, your bills due, that type of stuff, which doesn't sound very pleasant, but it is an important part. Warnings about using products or how they should be used, conditions of sales and service, notifications, documentation, which is funny because no one really is interested in the documentation until something goes wrong or you need to do something with it, and then everyone's trying to find the manual. So often that's online these days. Confirmation of reservations. I hate it when you book something and they don't confirm that you've actually booked it. So you're thinking, have I just wasted my money? Like, what's going on here? Summaries of accounts and activities, and receipts and tickets. All right, so that was the first pedal. Now the next pedal of Lovelux Flower and Service model is order taking. Now, order taking. So customers' applications, bookings and orders must be processed quickly and efficiently so as not to lose the business. And if your customers are, for services, especially professional services, often people are time poor. Remember we spoke before about temporal risk? So if the order taking part of temporal risk was the idea that the time associated with engaging with a service, right? So if order taking isn't done properly or effectively and efficiently, you lose business because people don't want to waste time with you. Right, so some service providers like to establish a formal membership relationship with customers, banks, insurance companies, medical benefits funds and utilities. And we use customer relationship management software to help us with that, and then that helps us facilitate the order taking, other stuff as well, like engaging and building relationships with the customers, but also the order taking part of it. So examples of order taking elements. So memberships in clubs or programs, subscription services such as like signing up to your water or your power or your subscription service could also be like Netflix and Stan and stuff. Enrollment based services such as your credit cards or university. Order entry, such as on-site fulfillment. So when you go into McDonald's and you go like a Big Mac please, like that's obviously taking an order. So, but they fill it at the place that you take the order. Mail, telephone, reservations such as for hotels, restaurants as well. I was thinking of rental vehicles and professional appointments, which is really important too if you are running a professional business, that you make sure you made that clear. All right, billing. So billing is common amongst almost all services, unless the services are provided free of charge, which could be government funded or whatever, but usually there's some element to billing in there. Customers like bills and accounts to be clear and informative and itemised in a way that makes it plain how the total was calculated. And it doesn't mean plain to the accountant that works at your firm, right? So as services marketing people, or as just generally marketing people, it's our job to advocate for the customer. So when the accounting department are sending out invoices and your customers are saying, I don't really understand the invoices, you go to the accountant and they go, oh yeah, but like it's easy because of this and this and this. That's where it comes down to you and your skill to go, well, it needs to be readable. You shouldn't need to be an accountant to be able to understand the invoice that you get, right? So the skill is for you to be able to work with the accountant to make it the best outcome for your customers. So inaccurate, ineligible or incomplete bills offer a splendid opportunity to disappoint customers who may, at that point, have been quite satisfied with their experience. And of course, this is a little bit sarcastic here, but if you are engaging with a service and they invoice you incorrectly or give you the wrong bill, you're already like, if they can't even get my bill right, how are they going to deliver the service right? So examples include periodic statements of accounts of activity. I think that's really good. If you have an ongoing bill, keep people up to date, especially this day and age where you can do online stuff, so they can log on to their account and see exactly what's going on. Invoices for individual transactions, verbal statements of amount due, and that's going to come down to your software systems for you to be able to do that. Electronic or machine display of amount due for self-payment when we do self-service technologies. All right, next one is payment. So billing and payment obviously link together quite well, but they are different. So payment, customers expect optional methods of paying when purchasing a wide variety of services. So billing was telling them how much they have to pay, and then paying is them actually transferring the money. So customers want security, convenience, ease of use. There's a broad array of alternative supplementary services for billing, and we've got so like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, PayPal, which is quite popular these days. Also Afterpay, and we've got cryptocurrencies as well, like Bitcoin and Ether and all that sort of stuff. So self-service, insert a credit card, electronic funds transfer, or checks. We don't really use checks these days, but that's where that was around when these series were developed. Direct payee, direct to payee or intermediary, cash handling and change giving, check handling, cash card handling, coupon redemption. We haven't talked a lot about coupons yet, but that is a way of segmenting our market. So you might think, well, why would we be using coupons for services? But there is a place for that, especially in the less profitable segments. So automatic deduction from financial deposits, direct debit setups and stuff like that, and then control and verification, so automated systems. I'm reading off this screen here because it's a little bit hard to read on my main screen. Automated systems, and then pre-arranged automatic deduction for billing payments. Right. Now, consultation implies some form of dialogue to probe customer requirements, asking what they want, what they need, what solutions they require, and then develop a tailored solution to match those needs. Right. Thus, consultation offers a unique opportunity to begin the process of forming a trusted and potentially enduring relationship with the client. So it starts off just a consultation, like a quick thing, what are you looking for, blah, blah, blah. But the goal, as with most of services marketing stuff, is to develop a valuable relationship. So this is customized advice, personal counseling, tutoring and training of product news, customer learning is very, very important, management or technical consultant. And this is becoming more and more apparent that we really need to train our staff, because customers usually use the skill of the skill that your staff can engage in and provide the consultation with them as a way to judge or predetermine the quality of the service that you provide. So people have a very big part in that. And it can be quite tricky because you put money into training staff that might leave, but if you don't do it, then the service that you're providing isn't going to be there. So and that you really got to teach your staff how to consult and engage with customers. Right, hospitality. So hospitality in circumstances where customers are required to enter the service factory, really service delivery point, and stay there until the service delivery is complete. It is important to try, at least in small ways, to treat them as guests and to make them feel welcome, comfortable and valued, especially if they have to spend a long time on site. Now, examples include auto repair service. So if you're managing a car place that repairs cars, the coffee machines aren't that expensive and have a big impact on the way that your customers feel about the service, right? Magazines in the waiting room. So examples of hospitality is greeting, food and beverage, toilets and washrooms, toiletry kits, waiting facilities and amenities, lounges, weather protection, magazines, transportation. And we're going to be dealing with the psychology of waiting coming like in future lectures. But the more hospitable we are and the more we can make our customers feel like they're not waiting for nothing, the better they're going to see the service and the better that service product is going to be. All right, safekeeping. So this is looking after the customer's possessions. So while visiting a service site, customers often want assistance with their personal possessions. In fact, unless a certain safekeeping service is provided, like car parking, they may not come at all. Now, examples of safekeeping elements are childcare. So when you go to the gym, safekeeping your possessions, so it seems a bit crude to say, kids, but it does fit into that theory, right? So if you go to the gym, what are you going to do with your children? So if they have the playpen thingy or the creche, whatever it is, to look after them, pet care, parking facilities for vehicles. Now this is a massive one. It still blows my mind how so many businesses do not understand the importance of parking for multiple reasons. So we're talking first of all about leaving your car, so your car is safe. First of all, you need to be able to leave it somewhere. So one of the issues that we have in Launceston CBD is that a lot of people aren't coming in there like they used to. And when we ask people, like, why don't you go to CBD? A lot of them say it's the parking. But parking is a really big and expensive thing to provide. So a lot of business owners or the councils, they don't really want to fully embrace the power or the influence, the impact that this has on the retail attraction models that they use. And instead, if anyone does live in Launceston, one of the busiest places on a Saturday morning isn't the mall, it's the Bunnings car park. Like Bunnings and Officeworks and those areas there, it's absolutely packed. That car park is chock-a-block and people are parking on the lawns and stuff like that for the simple reason is they have somewhere to leave their car. And they don't want to be driving around the CBD trying to find a spot or paying for it or making it overly difficult to leave their vehicle. So parking is a really big one. The coat room, when you go to the nightclub or the pub or the restaurant or something, you can take your coat. Baggage handling for the hotels, storage space, safety deposit. Now for caring for goods, this is like when you buy it or you're renting it. So packaging, pickup, transportation, delivery, installation, inspection, cleaning, preventive maintenance, repairs, and upgrades. So there's a lot in there. I don't want to spend too much time on there. Exceptions. So this means this is the last element or the last petal of the Lovelock Flower of Service. So exceptions involve a group of supplementary services that fall outside the routine of normal service delivery. Now, it's important for services that we try and standardise them because consistency of service is one of the key things that customers use to evaluate the quality of service, right? So it's good that you have these processes in place. And indeed, as you probably already know, process is one of the 7 Ps of the extended marketing mix. However, processes are important to have. Every now and then things go wrong and we need to do these exceptions to the processes. So if you understand why we have the processes in place, then you can understand when it's going to be the right place or the right time to have exceptions to those processes. So special requests in advance of delivery, so such as the kids have got needs, children's needs, dietary requirements, medical or disability needs, religious observance requirements, deviations from standard operating procedures. So just because you set, this is what the procedure is, that's to make a better experience for the customer and to make it more efficient, more effective, and a consistent quality, right? So when something happens or something goes wrong, your staff need to be empowered enough to know that they can make an exception, and they can go, well, in this situation, an exception to the standard is actually, or the procedure, the standard procedure that we're going to do is actually better. So we're going to engage an exception here. So handling special communications, problem solving, and restitution of funds and compensation, and when things go wrong, so repairing broken goods and stuff like that. All right, so that ends the Lovelock's Flower of Service. We've gone through all the petals. I will see you in part 3.